'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where you want to be. And when we find ourselves in the master,
Okay. Good afternoon, dear family and friends, some of whom have journeyed from over 5,000 miles away. We are gathered here to witness and celebrate the union of two remarkable individuals, Agus Rodriguez and Noah Cowperthwaite. What a perfect place they have chosen. Chief Hosa Lodge was built over a century ago to give travelers their first breathtaking glimpse of the Colorado mountains, a place to pause, reflect, and feel wonder. Today we stand here in that same spirit at the threshold of a new beginning. With the snow-capped mountains stretching behind us, beautiful, grounding, and enduring, we gather to honor a love we hope will be exactly that. As Noah's great aunt and Noah's grandfather Steve's little sister, I am incredibly touched to be standing here. I have vivid memories of being a flower girl at my brother Steve and Lucia's wedding when I was 5, and then years later seeing my daughters Carly and Lucy as flower girls at Noah's parents' wedding. Today, I'm profoundly honored to play a part in a third generation of my dear brother's family. Occasionally, life gives us complete circles, and this moment for me is one of those. One of the most meaningful parts of preparing these remarks has been spending time trying to understand how Agus and Noah tick, and how somehow across thousands of miles, different languages, different continents and passions, life has steered them toward each other. Agus grew up in San Luis, Argentina, but spent magical childhood summers in the tiny town of Bonifacio with its 2,000 inhabitants. There, she was surrounded by horses, chickens, frogs, and birds, chasing them, rescuing them, attempting to pet every living creature she could. At one time, she was certain she would become a veterinarian, then maybe an actress, and later, having discovered a love for filming and storytelling, she became a director. And like any good director, perhaps she sensed when her own story needed a new scene. So she pressed pause on a rising film career to explore the world, and in doing so, stepped into one of the most significant stories of her life. Noah, meanwhile, was exploring a different kind of landscape, the world of family, friends, art, nature, maps, and music. He played violin, keyboard, ukulele, and saxophone. He performed in plays and musicals. He majored first in biochemistry, then studio art, then geography, drawn clearly to understanding how the world works and how we move through it. His passion for cycling, happily shared by Agus, and now with an eye toward environmental stewardship and sustainable transportation, says a lot about Noah. He is committed to caring for places, for people, and for the journey. His training in wilderness medicine and EMT work did more than prepare him for emergencies. It prepared him for a chance encounter with a young Argentinian traveler in distress who, despite being 5,000 miles from home, had just unknowingly crossed paths with her future. It would be tempting to call this love story fate. Two strangers born on different continents, speaking different native languages, shaped by different landscapes, colliding in a moment of chaos, brought together by a bike, a careless motorist, and the simply instinct of one human choosing to help another. But as Agus wisely says, we're not only here because of a bike crash, we're here because of everything that came after, every small choice, every act of patience, every time we stayed. Surely something magical began the day they met, but what makes their story truly beautiful is not the coincidence that brought them together, it's the steady, intentional choosing that has kept them together. One of the moments where that choosing became perfectly clear happened at our family's Ute Park Ranch, Noah's favorite place in the whole wide world. Out in our horse pastures, surrounded by purple wildflowers, on a beautiful summer day, Noah proposed to Agus. What touched us most hearing of this was not only that she had said yes, but that she so obviously loves this place as well and understands why it means so much to him. At this time, we will invite their friends to share a poem that Agus and Noah have selected in both Spanish and English. So, Barbara.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Quisiera explicarte de una forma sencilla que desde ti todo lo malo se ha dado vuelta. Y qué bonito es el optimismo, joder. Estás hasta cuando no estoy. Así defino mi soledad ahora. Te tengo, incluso cuando se me rompen los bolsillos. Ocupas mi vacío. Eres la antítesis de la nada. Agúas mi desierto. Eres el pasado de todas las ausencias. No me apena la tristeza. No me dan miedo los días malos ni las malas personas. No evito mi caída, no me importa no acertar. Eres a mi pena lo que la chimenea al viento, la sonrisa que no cambia este puto mundo de mierda.
And now in English.